everybody, welcome back to our channel. It's your girl Bex.
And I'm Carly.
And we're here to bring you content designed to unlock your mindset and your actions to be limitless. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe and ring the bell notification so you can get notified when we're dropping videos just like this.
All right, so today's video then, this is what we were talking about. There's no such thing as coincidence. So I've been away for a couple of weeks, and while I was away, I pinged Bex and I was like, okay, I think we need to do a video about disabilities, especially because the channel, as you've probably seen, you know, the channel is very much about women, but also we want to focus on other underrepresented minorities. So I said, hey, let's do a video on disabilities. And then you pinged me, was it the next day or something?
Yeah, literally the next day.
And you were like, is this because it was about the value 500? And you're like, did you say that because of this? And I'd not seen that because while I was away, I had no TV, anything like that. Barely was on my phone because I was on a course. So yeah, it's just fallen into place nicely and it was perfect timing.
So yeah, we came across the valuable 500 and Carly's going to go into a few more details about the founder and just a little bit about it, and then we'll go into some more like stats and data, and then we'll just basically just have an open conversation about this disability inclusion.
Cool. So Caroline Casey, she's an award-winning social entrepreneur and founder of #Valuable, a catalyst for an inclusion revolution that exists to position disability equally on the global business leadership agenda. Committed to building a global movement on inclusive business for the 1.3 billion people in the world with a disability, over the past 2 decades, she has set up several organizations and initiatives centered on disability business inclusion. Her latest initiative, the Valuable 500, is an ambitious year-long campaign, which they've now achieved, which was to get 500 businesses to commit to put disability inclusion on their leadership agendas. So supported by a host of global leaders, including Sir Richard Branson and Paul Polman, and global brands, including Virgin Media and Omnicom. So yeah.
Which is great. So it covers the 500 companies that we've, there's loads, we can kind of flash a few up on the screen. 20 million employees, 64 sectors and 36 countries. So it is a massive movement and definitely one that is probably long overdue, to be honest. And the commitment that the companies are making is that they will table disability on the board agenda. So it will actually be spoken about at leadership level. They will make one firm commitment a year that they can action. And that's one thing that I like. It's not like they're trying to go after everything. They want to make sure that they commit on the action and actually deliver it, which I think is pretty cool. And then to share their commitment to the Valuable 500 internally and externally. And then in return, the company will have access to valuable resources and a community of like-minded people.
That's awesome. And I think, like you were saying I think it's really good that they've done that where, like you said, it's those steps, isn't it? Because when you always find that, I'm going to go all out, I'm going to do this and this and that, and then you don't do it because it's just too much too soon. Yes, the goal 100% will be to get there, but like you say, that initial commitment and say, this is it, let's table this and we will get this done. And then from there, it just compounds and it will just roll and roll and roll. That's like going to the gym and saying, right, I'm going to go twice a day, every day for the rest of my life. And you've never been before. It's just taking those steps. So I think that's a really good approach that they've taken. And I think it's incredible what they've managed to achieve in such a short amount of time.
Such a short amount of time, but definitely, like we say, like we can sit here and say, like, why has more not been done? There's definitely companies, you know, we work for Amazon, so Amazon is, you know, is pretty much ahead of the curve on most things. Like we've already talking about accessibility for everything from end to end, right? And it's interesting because only 4% of businesses are actually focused on making offerings inclusive of disability. But if you put that versus 100% of disabled people that are spending money, so they're missing out on a potential $8 trillion dollars spending power. So it's not just about giving, people that are disabled, visible or invisible disabilities, giving them jobs. It's about how can we actually impact people with our businesses and our services as well. So it's really the supply chain, the accessibility, the job offerings. It encompasses it all.
100%. And just on that, like you're saying, they reckon that the inclusion of people with disabilities is estimated to cost countries 7% of their annual GDP. That's mental. Wow. That's like you said, like 8 trillion? Yeah,
something in those around that figure. Yeah,
absolutely crazy. So yeah, I mean, Caroline herself, it was only just kind of like learning about her. She is registered blind, so you can obviously see it's something that she's experienced and close to her heart, which she's driving. And you've got massive companies on board. You've got like Sony, Google, Sky, BBC, P&G, massive companies that are involved in it. So yeah, I really hope to see big things. And was it on the BBC there? It was on the news recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on BBC. Most people probably would have heard or seen about it now, but maybe not paid as much attention to it. But like, just going back to Caroline as well, like, so apparently she did a trip across India on an elephant or something like that. And people were like, how are you going across when you're blind and blah blah. Like, people actually start questioning, have you actually got a disability, which is just crazy as well, because like we say as well, they're invisible and visible disabilities. You don't always know. And I just wanted to touch on, and I know that we're going to go into this in more detail when we actually highlight maybe a sporting person or highlight somebody who's in business. But these are a few people that I saw that have actually got disabilities. So Sir Richard Branson is registered as dyslexic and other learning disabilities, and he's obviously the founder of Virgin. J.K. Rowling suffered from depression. The founder of FedEx, Paul Orfalea, is dyslexic and has ADHD. Tommy Hilfiger, dyslexic. Barbara Corcoran, who's co-founder or founder of Shark Tank, is dyslexic, as well as Steve Jobs. But one of the things that they all say, and a common theme, is that their disability, because they've been impacted of not being able to learn by reading, they've had to go and be creative and really experience life to come from a different perspective in order to push them forward, right? So actually they like say that their disability has actually been like a pillar of their success, which is incredible. And it's just, it just makes you like really become like grateful for all of your senses that you do have, and the fact that if you can go and do, you absolutely should, you know what I mean? Like, and I just think that everybody should do as much as possible and not take their life and their health for granted, right?
100%. Well, Caroline was saying she actually hid her disability till she was 28. 28. Because
how do you hide being blind?
Because she thought she wouldn't get the same chances as everybody else. Could you imagine that? Like, you already feel like you're at a disadvantage, and then to think that something like that, you think, oh no, I can't say anything because that's going to put me further back, and now they're going to treat me differently or whatever else. That I couldn't imagine what that must feel like. But she's more that, look what she's doing now, it's just unreal. I'm just excited to see what that now does for a lot of companies, because like you say, obviously where we work, very much into that. I know one of the things recently we've been talking about is color blindness. So a lot of our charts and data we're presenting it will be it's red if it's underperforming, and you put it in green if it's above plan or whatever else. But so people with color blindness can't see that, and
they can't see green or red, can they?
Yeah, exactly. So they're saying about just making sure the way you write it, even if you put colors on it, it's very easy to read of what that data is presenting, and don't just present it in colors, because people might not be able to understand it. And I think I remember interviewing somebody, and she'd worked on something on to do with one of our Inside Amazon page, all the general information about the business. She was saying that there's certain things you can do to make it easier to read for people with who are visually impaired. but their page wasn't compatible. I don't know if it was a software you download or something, but she was working to try and change that.
Yeah, so I think like Amazon are doing this whole accessibility thing either this week or this month, basically for that, right? So making sure that those that do have a disability are able to access everything that anybody else is able to access, and it's easily accessible for them as well. And another thing that I wanted to mention as well is the sheer volume and hard work that they put into this, that the team at Valuable 500 have done. They've reached out to over 2,800 CEOs and businesses.
Yeah.
And only today, like only this week or this month or this year, have been able to achieve their goal. And I just want to say, dreams don't work unless you do. You have a vision. That vision, she might have had that vision 10 years ago, you know what I mean? But when you reach the goal, it doesn't matter. However, you just need to make sure that you're working hard, because regardless of what it is you're fighting towards and going towards, like, it's just going to be consistency. You're going to be not like 2,800 people that they've reached out to are only 500, which means the rest of them have said no, or they haven't got back to them.
Responded, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's so cool though. Like you say, like she hasn't gone, oh, valuable 100 or valuable 10. She went straight out 500, and apparently it's like aligned to the Fortune 500, the top 500 global companies by revenue. So she's gone, right, if we've got a Fortune 500, I want a valuable 500 who are ready to push this. Because like they say, it's bigger than what a government can do. And businesses have got so much power, and it just takes certain companies to do it, because they are all competing. Why does someone, because gone are the days it's just about what your salary is or the name of the company or whatever. Yeah. People are looking, well, what are you offering? Yeah. What makes you so much different? How are you helping people? And that's becoming more popular. So if you're looking at a company and going, yeah, I'm aligned to that. Yeah, you might be paying me £5,000 less or whatever, but I love that vision. And it's just going to make more companies start changing the way they're doing things.
That's actually a great point, right? Because as like technology advances and skills have to advance and all the rest of it, like you really are gonna be saying, like it's gonna get to a point where you're bidding on people, like I want that person to come and work for me. So you do have to, it's like you say, gone are the days is it just about your salary, it's about sustainability, it's about what you're doing in the community. Like you said, you get what I'm saying, it's all of the package. Like, what can I be proud to say that I work at this company? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, can I be proud to say, hold on a minute, don't say that about the company I work for. This company is amazing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's just a little bit about Valuable 500, and we thought it'd be really cool just to highlight this topic as we are focusing on underrepresented minority groups as well. So it fits in line with what is going on in the world today, as well as what we stand for. Next week, we're going to highlight a couple of success stories from both women and men. So that will be something that we would really love for you to get involved in. And if you have anything else that you would like to see, or any suggestions or any comments on this video, then please make sure that you drop it down below. So that's the end of our video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've been your girl, Bex.
And I've been Carly. And thank you so much for watching this week's episode. And we will see you next week.
Peace.